Hey YouTube, this is Wade from Everyday Sustainable, and out of a sense of curiosity, and maybe because we're gluttons for punishment, my wife and I decided to eat only raw vegan food and as minimally processed as possible for a full week. We only did lunches and dinner because we normally skip breakfast in our household. In all seriousness, we were inspired by books like Michael Pollan's Omnivore's Dilemma and Darren O'Lean's Super Life. Yes, the Darren from Zac Efron's Down to Earth on Netflix. To prepare for this week, we had to do a lot of research to find these 14 meals and grocery shop specifically for this week. We spent about 30% more on groceries that we would normally spend in a week, but we did have to buy some specialty items that we don't normally have stocked up at home, so take that for what you will. Anyway, it's a lot to cover, so let's get right to it. Alright, it's day one of our 7-day raw vegan challenge, and our first meal is avocado pesto zoodles. It will be our first time using a spiralizer or zoodler, so we're turning zucchinis into noodles, so that should be pretty fun. Hopefully it tastes good too.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, I like it. It tastes like a good pesto. I think I'd give it 7 out of 10 on taste, and for ease of making, I think it was pretty easy. I only cut my finger once on the spiralizer, so maybe an 8.
This wasn't that hard, like maybe 9.
And we did have to get a spiralizer.
Yeah.
And I cut my finger on it.
And I guess, yeah. But to me, this is, compared to other meals, really easy to make. And I really like it. Maybe 8 out of 10 for taste.
8 out of 10, yeah, very good. A good first meal. Day one dinner, we're making a spicy Thai salad. Looking forward to it. We'll see how it comes out. We're ready to dig in to this spicy Thai salad.
Spicy Thai salad.
Spicy Thai salad.
First of all, not spicy.
Not spicy in the least
at
bit.
all.
If you
It
want
has a pinch of cayenne. That's not spicy.
If you want it spicy, quadruple the cayenne and maybe throw some jalapenos in there or something.
Well, it's like avocado and dates.
Yeah, not spicy.
That's not spicy.
In terms of taste, I think it tastes pretty good. I would give it a 5. Like, it's definitely not.
I'm gonna add salt.
It's definitely not bad. In terms of ease of making, I'd probably say it's like a 4. It was a lot of work.
Yeah, the cucumber was harder to zoodle than the zucchinis.
That's why they call it a zoodler, not a coodler.
Taste-wise, probably 5, because I think it's fine, but I would never like order this or make it again.
And your ease of making score?
It was probably like a 5 or 6. It wasn't like that bad, but
definitely more difficult than the one this morning. All right, so that's our spicy Thai salad. Alright, so we have our raw vegan hamburgers. Here we go. I'm excited to try these. The patties smell good.
It's kind of weird that they're called raw. It's not like beef, but I love it.
Yeah, it's a really good flavor. Raw and made out of things like carrots, walnuts, and sunflower seeds. Like, that's crazy that it kind of tastes like meat.
Yeah, the nuttiness is, I think, what does it really good.
8 out of 10 on the taste score.
I think it's a 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10?
Yeah, it's up there.
Okay, I just didn't want to go too high in case more of our meals are even better. But yeah,
That's okay, that's what you feel.
I contemplated saying 9, but I was, I wanted to give space for other recipes. So the point is, we both really like it. We did have to pre-soak the nuts, so yeah. I don't know, I'd maybe like a 7 or 8 of ease.
Yeah, not too bad.
I'll say 7. Pretty easy, but not the easiest thing in the world.
I agree.
So that's our thoughts on these raw vegan hamburgers. Weird to say that they're raw, but they taste really good.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah, I like it like this too. It's like a nice kind of peanutty salad. It's mostly based on the sauce, right? Because the greens are just cabbage and cilantro, that kind of thing. But yeah, the sauce is really good. We should say we added extra chili paste, which I would recommend a little bit extra.
A little bit more.
I'd probably give it a 7. Like, I'm not dying for us to make this again, but it's good. I like it.
Probably an 8. Yeah, I really like it.
And ease of making, I think I'd give it a 6.5.
Rolling it is a little bit,
Adds extra.
yeah, just add something. So maybe like 6 or 7, depending on how you make it.
So there you go. A recipe we both enjoyed, pretty easy. And we'll probably make it again.
Yep.
It's dinner time, day 3, so let's get it started.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, I like it.
It's really good, simple, not a real strong flavor. The pesto we had the first night, I think the sauce had a stronger flavor.
Yeah.
But this one's like light and refreshing.
Creamy.
Creamy. I'd give this one a 7 out of 10.
I'd probably give it an 8 because I like it.
Okay.
Yeah, I would eat this again.
I'll give it an 8 as long as you got the arm strength to spiralize those zucchini.
Also, I feel like warming it up, it would be really good.
And you wanted to do that with the other zucchini pasta too.
Did I?
I thought you said
I
that.
think that was the fried rice, wasn't it? Or maybe I want to warm them all up.
3 days in, she's getting tired of eating raw.
It's cold. It's January.
But what's your ease of make score?
Like 8 out of 10 as well, 8.5.
8 out of 10.
Pretty easy.
So there you have it. Pretty easy, good, light, refreshing recipe. All right, it's day 4 and it's lunchtime, which means after this meal, we will be halfway done with our week. Whoa, which is crazy. And today we're making a raw peanut zoodle salad. So some more zoodles, but we've grown to like those.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. I really like the peanut butter flavor in the dressing.
10 out of 10.
Really?
Yeah.
10 out
It's really good. There's nothing wrong with it.
Better than the burgers, though? You didn't give the burgers a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, I think this is 10 out of 10.
Okay, wow. 10 out of 10.
Easier to make, so I'm just like combining all the...
So you give it
all the notes.
you give it a 10 for taste and a 10 for prep.
No. It was easier to make than the burger, so then I give it a 10, this one. But this one was really easy to make, probably 9.5.
And I cut my finger again on the spiralizer, so be careful, use the top. I'll say 9.5 because of the small injury I sustained. On ease of prep and flavor, I'll give it a 9. There you go, there's our non-scientific scores on this peanut salad, raw zucchini peanut salad. So we did buy some extra foods for snacks, mostly fruits, vegetables, and nuts. Sometimes you need something a little extra, a little more hearty. In a normal week, we might have some kind of snack granola bar, but I'm actually gonna make some vegan energy balls. I got this recipe from Veggie Vagabonds. The link to this recipe is going to be down in the description, like all the recipes we're making this week. I love bringing them on backpacking and hiking trips. I actually brought these on my trip on the Lost Coast Trail with my dad, which you can check out that video if you're interested. He actually didn't like these that much. He said they were kind of dry, but I think he's crazy because the peanut butter is creamy. It makes a really good flavor. I love it with the dates. And the oats and agave make it really sweet and tasty. So I love these things. We're all set now, just time to process it. And Sully made it home just in time to help me roll these into balls, so here we go. We should say that we added extra ingredients to the crema, the sauce. Basically all the ingredients extra.
Just doubled it, huh?
Yeah, we've doubled everything in terms of...
Except the cashews.
Except the cashews, but we needed more liquid to make it a creamy sauce. The person who wrote the recipe said that she just kind of eyeballs her recipes anyway, so it seemed like more liquid, more lemon juice for more flavor, more water, more salt, and a little bit more of that apple cider vinegar. But other than that, we pretty much followed the recipe exactly. The best one yet, in my opinion, taste-wise. I would give it a 10 out of 10.
Ooh.
Very good. In terms of ease of make, I would give it a 6. It's pretty easy, but it does require a blender and a food processor, so if you don't have both, that's an extra hassle.
You're basically making 3 different things.
Yeah.
The ceviche,
yeah.
the nut mixture, the crema. I would give this an 8. I like it, but I'm not like, oh, I'm dying for it. Easy making, yeah, 6.
So there you go. We both like it quite a bit. I like it a lot. Fairly easy to make, but not the easiest. Here's the Taco Tuesday. It's day 5, it's time for lunch, and we're making no-bake falafels. Here we go. We're over halfway done with the week,
Woo!
and I'm ready for some lunch. No-bake falafels, here we go. Definitely softer than a regular falafel. The pumpkin seeds are weird.
Yeah, I don't like that at all.
If I was grading just the flavor, I would probably say like a 7, but because we got that weird pumpkin seed thing going in there, I'm gonna give it like a 4.
I'm so annoyed at the pumpkin seeds.
Yeah.
I'd probably say like 7 because I think these are pretty good.
But are you gonna ding them for the pumpkin seeds?
0.
Oh wow, all the way down, okay. I'll give it a 9 in terms of ease. What's your ease score?
Yeah, likewise a 9.
So that's that on the no-bake falafel. We'll be chewing on these chewy pumpkin seeds for the next 30 minutes or so. It's dinner time, and tonight we're making pad thai soba noodles. The recipe says kelp noodles, but we couldn't find kelp noodles, and it said soba are an alternative, so that's what we're going with. Pad thai soba noodles.
I think I like it, but I think that I'm not quite getting the sauce. Like,
Yeah.
it's a little too runny.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe too much water, not enough almond butter.
Yeah. So I think I'd give it a 7, and if the sauce was, maybe a little bit more of it, maybe a little less water, a little more almond butter, I think this could maybe be like a 9.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would definitely make this again, just change up the sauce a little bit. In terms of ease, this one is really easy. I think I'd say like a 9.
But it's pretty easy, probably like a 7.5. Flavor, I agree. I would probably give it a 6 right now, maybe 5. It's kind of lacking the flavor, to be honest. But
Potential.
yeah,
To be
potential
better.
for sure.
Yeah. It's day 6 and we're making raw veggie chili. You might be able to see outside that it's cold and rainy. I think we chose to do this on the coldest week of the year, which probably wasn't smart. I'm starting to miss warm food, but we only have a couple more days and we'll have some warm food soon enough. Anyway, for today, it's raw veggie chili. Earlier you said the pureed veggies are kind of like a salsa, so it's like a salsa with that walnut meat substitute.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sold on walnut being a meat substitute. Like we had it in the tacos, the burgers, and this, and it tastes really good as a meat substitute. Like I said at the beginning, I wish I was eating a warm bowl of chili on this rainy day, but the taste is really good. I think I'd give it an 8 on taste, like one of my more preferable ones.
I'd probably give it a 7. That's good. I don't think it's like one of my favorites.
I would say pretty easy. You do have to use the food processor twice, so kind of cleaning it and reusing it. You could maybe use the blender, but then you're using 2 appliances. So I'll say a 7.
Yeah.
Like pretty easy, but a little bit extra work.
Yeah.
Neither one of us love it. I like it a little more than you, but yeah, really tasty chili. It's time for dinner and we're making raw vegan sushi. Looking forward to this one.
Woo!
I'm a little embarrassed to admit I used to work at a sushi restaurant for a couple years because we don't have the right knives to cut this. We don't own chopsticks.
We've actually never done it before.
We've never made sushi before, so our rolling is substandard, different sizes and that kind of thing.
It's just bad.
Bad. If this explains my situation at all, one of the sushi chefs tried to teach me how to make sushi one time and he gave up before we even started rolling. So anyway, we don't know how to make sushi, but this was a fun experience and we hope to do it again. But
some look okay.
I think I'd give it an 8 in terms of taste. It is a little difficult to make with the rolling and that sort of thing, especially if you've never made it before, but a fun experience. In terms of difficulty, I'd probably give it like a 4 or 5.
I don't think it was that hard. You have to rice the cauliflower and the zucchini, but then, yeah, just roll it together. Maybe like a 6, 5 or 6. Taste, I love it. I don't know, 9.5, 10.
Oh, wow.
I feel like it's really good.
Well, it sounds like we'll definitely be making this again or some version of this, and hope you try it and enjoy. We're nearing the end of our week of eating raw vegan, and we want to make a little treat to celebrate at the end, so I'm making paletas. Again, like all the recipes, it will be down in the description. I'm gonna add syrup to the recipe because it only has 3 ingredients: pecans, almond milk, and bananas. That's it. And if you've never tried bananas as an ice cream replacement, I really recommend it. Whether you're trying to go vegan or you're lactose intolerant and have to avoid dairy, it's super good and creamy. So we're gonna make these little paleta kind of popsicles out of them. Like I said, adding some syrup for some extra sweetness. But looking forward to celebrating the end of our week with these. It's our final day, day 7, and we're making what we call in this house a big salad. But for the kids, we're calling it a big hearty salad today. Basically, we just throw in a bunch of veggies, beans, nuts, whatever we're interested in. But we were really inspired, and we love those vegan tacos that we had earlier this week. So we're actually making the ceviche from those tacos and putting it on top of some greens, and we think it's gonna be really good. We have some extra avocado too, so that should taste great. Tastes really good. I love the ceviche. And we added beans to it, black beans and avocado.
It's good.
In terms of taste, I would say, I don't know, this might sound crazy because it's just a salad, but I'm gonna say an 8 because I love the tacos, and my favorite part of the tacos was the ceviche, and here it is in a salad. So yeah, I think this is an 8 for me in terms of taste. How about you?
It's 7.5 or an 8. It's not my favorite thing that we've made. Again, like you said, it's a salad, but it's a good salad. It's fresh.
I'd give it a 10 in terms of ease of making. How about you?
I think 10 is like takeout, so 9.
The point is, very easy, tasty, and fresh. We're enjoying our big hearty salad. All right, it's dinner on our last night, and we're making falafels part 2, the electric boogaloo for my Always Sunny in Philadelphia fans.
Redemption.
That's right. No pumpkin seeds in these falafels. Hopefully they'll be much better. The recipe also included a dressing recipe, so we made that and threw it on a little salad with more veggies that we had left over. So we're excited to try it out. Let's see.
A million times better. There's still crunch from the seeds, from the sunflower seeds, but it's not an annoying, like, chewy texture.
Yeah, but I will say I think I like the flavor of the other falafel more, but they were ruined by those pumpkin seeds in there. So I think if I was gonna make one of the 2 again, it would be the other one, and I would have just swapped the pumpkin seeds out for sesame seeds. Ones I'd probably give like a 6. Like, I like
really?
them.
Is that low? I feel like they're like an 8 for me.
Okay.
I mean, that's fine. You can.
And in terms of ease of making,
It's pretty easy.
Yeah, fairly easy. Got to use a food processor, maybe a 7.
I agree.
We made it to the end. We just got to finish this dinner, and then of course enjoy our desserts to celebrate the end of a week eating raw vegan. These are a nice treat after a long week of eating raw vegan.
But they are raw vegan.
And we got Max here who joined us just for some concluding thoughts on this week of eating raw vegan. So first we were just gonna say how we feel after a week of eating mostly fruits, veggies, nuts, nut butters, those kinds of things. How are you feeling?
I will say that one thing I did notice in my body was not getting as hungry throughout the day. Usually when it's close to lunchtime or close to dinner, it's like my internal clock is like, oh, it's almost that time, start feeling hungry, but I haven't been like super hungry, and we've been eating later actually.
Yep.
So I would maybe say that's something I've noticed that's probably related to the food.
I think I did slim up a little bit over this week, at least I noticed that when looking in the mirror.
Slim down?
Yeah, slim down. I don't know how you slim up.
Well, my first tip would be look at the ingredients and try to pick recipes that don't have ingredients that you won't normally use, because then you'll just end up with a fridge full of random things that you might not know what to do with them again. And then my second tip would be, when you find the recipes, I know sometimes you skip over the blog posts because they're super long and they have people's life stories and all that stuff.
Get to it already.
I personally don't mind that kind of blog, but read it, because sometimes in the blog there's important information about the recipe, and then read the recipe as if you were following it before you make it, so you know what's gonna go in, what you need where. Reviews are super important because sometimes people, they do their own substitutes. Like they will in the comments say, oh, I subbed this for that. And so that could be something that helps you.
Might have saved us from the pumpkin seeds.
Oh, God.
Tips from me are seasoning and spices. I don't know if it's the raw vegan community in general or just these recipes we chose. Not all of them, but many of them. It felt like the sauces and the seasoning was on the low end. So there's our tips, and now we're gonna transition to Max. Max is really trying to get some Paletas.
He saw the straw. He's like, is that for me? I probably learned to trust myself in the kitchen. Like you said, there's some recipes where we kind of went off a little bit and did our own thing with the seasoning or making extra. Like, just trust yourself. If it doesn't look right and you only make a tablespoon amount of dressing, make more. Like, just do it. It doesn't matter. Just trust yourself.
Yeah, I learned two things. One, simply some new recipes that we're gonna make regular parts of our cooking at home, or not cooking because they're raw, but we did really enjoy some of these recipes and we will use them in the future. And that kind of connects to my bigger takeaway, which is the value of pattern interruptions. Like, doing this was a huge hassle. Shopping for specialty items and finding 14 recipes ahead of time and listing out all the things we needed to buy for all 14 of those recipes, none of which we'd ever made before. So though this was a hassle, I learned the value of pattern interruptions. It's only through doing that sort of thing that you are able to learn new recipes or new ways of preparing food, like not cooking it, and grow as a person, as a family. It's only through breaking out of your routine and going to new grocery stores that you're able to find new foods and try new things. Maybe that will encourage you to try at least one of these recipes and interrupt your own pattern. There is value and growth that comes at the other end of those interruptions.
Yeah, and I would say if you find one new thing that you like, it's worth it.
Yeah.
I think we found plenty of things we liked, and even though there were some stinkers, it was fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. That's what I was gonna say too. If you want to learn more about why we would eat vegan in the first place and sustainable eating, check out my video on the topic. You might learn something and enjoy it. That's all we have for today, so thank you for joining us. May we be better citizens of the world today and every day. See you later.